Take the money and leave, please.
Take the money and leave, please. The Sweden government is proposing $34,000 to immigrants who wish to leave Sweden voluntarily to their home countries. Now, starting from 2026, you can make a request from the Swedish government that you want to go back to your home country voluntarily, and they'll be giving you $34,000. That is according to the government of Sweden. Now, Sweden is reportedly planning to pay migrants around 30,000 euros to return to their home countries from 2026. The aim is to encourage long-term unemployed or low-income migrants on state benefits to accept the financial incentive and leave Sweden. How many immigrants are going to accept this offer? It is $34,000, which is equivalent to 30,000 euros. So if you agree to go to your country voluntarily, they will give you the money. Now, the question is, how many immigrants will collect the $34,000, which is equivalent to 30,000 euros? Because we have a lot of immigrants in Europe, even working for only 1 year, they can gather this amount of money. So you offering this amount of money to immigrants who want to go to their country voluntarily, I don't think a lot of immigrants will accept this idea, but we still have immigrants who will accept these ideas. Guys, let me know what you think about this money that the Sweden government is offering for immigrants who want to go back to their home country voluntarily. I have the video. Let's watch the video. When we are back, we'll give you the rest of the update. So stay.
Take the money and leave, please. The Swedish government is offering to pay immigrants $34,000 if they go back to their home country. The Conservative government's migration minister said that this is part of a paradigm shift in Sweden's migration policy. Migrants who leave voluntarily can apply for the $34,000 beginning in 2026. Now, that amount is 35 times higher than the existing grant, which has been in place since 1984. But officials say that it's relatively unknown and unused. For example, only one person used it last year. Emma Lufgren is a journalist and editor at the local Sweden. She joins me tonight from the Swedish city of Malmö. It's good to have you with us, Emma. So who exactly qualifies for these $34,000?
Well, they haven't specified all the details yet, but if we take the current grant as an example, that's only available to refugees or people who are in Sweden because of some other reason of protection and their families. So, like, say, a German white-collar EU worker can't just go, I don't really fancy Stockholm, I'm heading back to Berlin, can I have some travel money, please? And the current grant is also only available to people who already have a residency permit. So you also can't come to Sweden and go, well, actually, I changed my mind, give me money, please. There are also, for the current grant, there are no restrictions on returning to Sweden after you've been given it, but you do lose your residency permit when you receive it. So if you want to return, you have to go through the same rather long-winded process again.
And do we know, Emma, is there broad popular support for this? I mean, $34,000, that's a lot of money.
Well, there hasn't been huge public debate about this particular issue yet. I mean, it's just one part of quite a lot of reforms that the government is pushing through on migration. Mm-hmm. And it's also not really clear what the impact would be in this case. Like, this specific reform probably wouldn't affect that many people, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, the numbers showed last year only one person actually got the grant money. It makes me wonder, what is the ultimate goal here? I mean, how many immigrants taking the money and leaving Sweden, how many of those would be considered success?
And the government actually do want to invest money also in informing people of this grant. But the inquiry that looked into this issue, it estimated that a grant of 300, what is the number now? 350,000 kronor would increase this kind of re-emigration by 700 people a year. But it cautioned that it was very hard to say for sure. And the Sweden Democrats spokesperson on migration, he actually said that he believed that this was a lowball figure, and there's quite a big pool of people who would potentially be interested. I'm not quite sure what the cutoff point is for success, but I don't think it's a wild guess to think that it would increase compared to today.
The government has promised to take a hard line on immigration. Is this move just for show? I mean, I guess I understand the argument, put your money where your mouth is here. Is that what the Swedish government is doing, in your opinion?
I mean, the government would presumably say that it's one part of the puzzle and every little bit helps. Like, the idea from the government's perspective is that a lot of people today aren't integrated, don't speak Swedish, don't have jobs, aren't really part of society, and maybe in a lot of cases would actually quite like to leave, but can't for various reasons. It's interesting, though, that the government-appointed inquiry on this actually rejected the idea. Normally, when the government launches an inquiry, it gets this quite clear directives, and you kind of assume it to go in the direction of what the government wants. This time, the inquiry was asked to study other countries and find methods that could increase the immigration of immigrants through cash incentives, and it just basically went, nope, can't be done. There are no such methods anywhere that work to that end. Now, the inquiry did say that if Sweden were to increase the grant, it would probably increase the number of voluntary returns to some extent, yield a small benefit to Sweden's public finances. But it said that the risks far outweigh the benefits, that an immigration grant would send a signal to the target group that they're not welcome in Sweden, which would harm their willingness to integrate, which it said could have consequences such as lower labour market participation, more crime among the immigrant groups that the grant targeted. And it basically advised the government not to do this, and even said that actually in future budgets for the migration agency, you should just stop funding this sort of thing entirely. Yeah,
that's fascinating. It certainly gives new meaning to the term golden handshake, that's for sure. Emma Löfgren, joining us tonight from Malmö in Sweden. We appreciate your reporting, Emma. Thank you.
I hope you have seen the video. Let me know what you think about what the Sweden government is proposing to immigrants. And guys, TapTapSend still remains the #1 mobile app you can use to wire money back to Africa. With TapTapSend, you don't pay any sending fee or any commission, and their rates are very, very higher. You can download TapTapSend on Google Play or App Store. Register. It is very, very simple. In your first transfer, just add my promo code official Niger in capital letters. Like this, they are still dashing you €5, $10, £10, depending on where you are. If you are in the UK, America, anywhere in Europe, you can use TapTapSend to wire money back to loved ones in Africa. Until we meet again in the next video, please stay safe and stay blessed. Peace out.